is fasting? Simply put, fasting is when you set aside something that your body enjoys so that you can grow spiritually. Usually in the Bible, the most common thing that people would set aside was food. And let's face it, if there's anything that we like, it's food. And so when God sees that you want so much of Him that you are willing to sacrifice something like food, it moves the heart of God, and it allows for us to feed the most important part of us, our spirit. Look at what God said through the prophet Joel. Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. God honors when we are willing to return to Him and put Him before our body. When we sacrifice our appetites, it does something powerful in the spiritual realm. God honors it. And it is important to note that fasting is not just about missing a meal. It's not just like going on a diet. No, fasting is really all about seeking God and drawing closer to Him. When the prophet Isaiah was teaching, he explained that it is important that we fast in a way that honors God. In Isaiah 58, he lets the people of Israel know that their fast was not honored because they just did as they pleased while they were fasting. Look at what he says. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen it? Why have we humbled ourselves and you have not noticed? Yet on the day of your fasting, you do as you please. You exploit all of your workers. Your fasting ends in quarreling and strife, and in striking each other with wicked fists. You cannot fast as you do today and expect your voice to be heard on high. The principle here is when you fast, change your schedule. You have to change your mind. It's a time of seeking God more than ever. If you're fasting and your prayer life is not changing, your seeking of God is not changing, you're not fasting, you're dieting. And so if you're going to seek God more than ever, that may mean that during a time of fasting, you may have to cut back on the television, take a break from games, start reading the Bible. That's a big one. And binge watch Jesus content instead of fantasy movies. Fasting is about abnormally putting God first above everything. And you may wonder, do I really have to fast? Well, let me ask you this. How much of God do you want? Do you want His Spirit to work powerfully through you, to lead you? I mean, that's the question. How much of God do you want? Look at Jesus. He fasted. And since Christ is our model, how much more should we? Now, why is Jesus our model? Well, when Jesus died on the cross, He allowed us in a way to become the body that He sacrificed. The scriptures say that we now have His Spirit living within us, which allow us to literally now be the body of Christ on earth. You know,